Hi, welcome to this episode of Inbounds with Renee Figueroa and our guest today, Miss Evie. She is a gymnast on the LU gymnastics team, our fifth-year captain. So first of all, thank you so much for joining us today. And I wanted to ask you about your fifth year overall, this new process with the new coaching staff and the team in the rebuilding phase. So why was your decision to take a fifth year? Why did you keep that commitment when these coaches switched over?
I would say this team was going through a lot within the changes of the coaching, and someone that has gone through it all. I thought it would be smart to, be the one to keep the team together and even though we didn't have coaches for a long time, I wanted to be that leader, the leader that I have been for the past 4 years. So, and also I wasn't doing this for the coaches. I didn't take this fifth year for the coaches. I took it for myself. I've been saying that this season, yes, I'm doing it for the team, but for the last 4 years I did it for the team. This year I'm doing it for myself and also for the team as well. So
Definitely. So you had just found out that you tore a ligament in your ankle, and it's kind of been a season where you've had those aches and pains, and usually where it'd be a way where people would be like, okay, I should take time off, knowing that it is officially your last year to be able to do gymnastics. How has that extra, pressure of knowing it's your last year pushed you physically and mentally?
Honestly, it has made it easier. Gymnastics and I have always had a love-hate relationship, and my junior year I tore a ligament. I tore my Achilles in my left leg, and so I think that was the worst pain I've ever gone through, and this is just one of those nagging feelings. So I'm pushing through, knowing that I have only 7 meets left overall ever, and it's helping me get through, just knowing it's not I'm gonna have to do this ever again. So I know that if I just push through these last few meets and enjoy it, then it'll all be worth it. So
going off the fact that it'll all be worth it, knowing that this season so far definitely hasn't gone the way that we all thought it'd be planned, how do you keep yourself staying mentally strong and determined to keep going, knowing that you could definitely feel kind of defeated knowing you're going to your last year overall with the team not at the place we want it to be?
The past couple of years, we've done well gymnastically, I would say, but it hasn't, culturally been fantastic. So with this year being, as healthy as it is, personally, yes, of course I care how we compete, and that will show because we put in the work in, but as long as we are healthy physically, mentally, spiritually, I think that's what makes it worth it. I think we're trying and we're working hard, and this team hasn't given up. So it would be a different story if this team has given up, mm-hmm. but it's not. So, and we haven't, and we won't. So
I definitely agree with that. I think it's a very different look from the outside perspective, where we've had some people on social media say some comments about us, but knowing the fact that this team truly is rebuilding in every single way, and we're starting rebuilding as people, because mm-hmm. that's what's so important to coaching staff. So I think that's great, that knowing that even though you're used to gymnastically us maybe placing better, knowing overall that you are feeling better as a person, mm-hmm. and being a student is something that I know is so important to you and the entire staff.
Absolutely. So
what does it feel like being named captain this year officially? That title, does it hold any more weight on you now?
Not really. This is our first year doing captains, and I would say that the past couple of years I've taken on that role anyway. The coaches putting it on me, or even my class putting it on me, and I take on that role as well. I think I'm not the best athlete. I work hard, but I'm not the greatest athlete, but I do know that I have a strong voice, and that is something that I know, if I'm not the best on the floor, then I'm going to be the best role model leader that I can be.
Yes, you definitely are one of the best role models and leaders, and you always have that voice. You're not afraid to kind of be that voice for everyone else on the team that might be struggling. I think that's why it's so important that you are one of our captains. So I think a big thing this year that we're going through is kind of trying to transition that confidence from in practice to competitions, and you definitely do that. Do you think it's just come with your years of like competition, or is there something you do to stay mentally in balance?
I would say that, you know, everybody keeps calling me a vet this year, and I have to say, like, even last year, it was completely different. Like, my confidence level, like, I'm so confident because of the work that we put in preseason. Like, the amount of hours and, you know, even the hours being together in the gym and outside of the gym, like, that has helped me tremendously just within this year, but also within the past 4 years. I mean, I think it helps knowing that this is my last year. So every time I get onto the floor, I'm like, this is going to be one of my last routines. Put it out there on the floor, give it everything that I have, and, you know, the outcome, if it's great, if it's not great, I know personally that I gave it everything that I have. So I'll be happy with it.
Yeah, I love that I'll give it all I've got mindset. So I would say, what is your way that you think we could, or I mean, like you said, this team has not given up. So how could we kind of flip that switch and show the world as much effort and that determination that goes into our gym and the preseason practices, and let that shine out on the competition?
I think the biggest thing that we're lacking right now is our confidence. I feel like we have something to prove, and in a way we do, but also I think we're forgetting like that we need to prove it to ourselves, and who cares what everybody else thinks. You know, we have always had social media talk crap about us, like, since day one. The media has never really been on our side, so personally for me that doesn't affect me, because I've gone through it for, you know, since year one. But I think it may have gotten into the heads of, you know, some of our other teammates, which is okay. Like, that's really not fair for us to go through, but I think something that we need to get past is that, and to remember that, again, like I said, all the work that we put in inside the gym, because inside the gym, we are amazing. Like, people would never see that, but I mean, they do see it. We've heard people say it, but like, we are, you know, we're really strong and we're very capable, and we just need to have that, like you said, mind switch.
Yeah. So my last question for you is, what would be that advice that you would give to your freshman yourself, now being at the end of your 5th year, knowing that when it was all said and done, you were going to end up where you were going to end up? What would be that advice that you would give to yourself on those hard days?
The hard days, that's hard, because young me was very inside her shell. I mean, not necessarily as much as a leader, but gymnastically, I was very, like, you know, quiet, and I guess I didn't really even take it as seriously as I do now. So maybe that's something that I would tell myself, you know, or even just have fun with it, like have fun with the process. Something that I've been saying to myself the past 2-3 years now, that I wish I would have realized as a freshman, is to enjoy the process, like, no matter how hard or how easy it is, because if you put in the work, you're going to enjoy the product, but enjoying the process of what the product will be in the end is more, I think, to me, like, more important than the final product. So, like, the preseason this year, like, our time in the gym has, like, meant so much more to me than what routine I'm going to do tomorrow. So, like, I think that's something that has helped me also in competition that I wish I would have known as a freshman. And I would give that advice to the freshmen as well. So.
Yes, that is perfect. So thank you so much for sitting down with us. And thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of Inbounds. Bye.
Bye.